I want to talk about whether we have true democracy. We've had MMP for 20 years, but this election, National Labour got most of the votes. Why did voters go back to the two main parties? Why was it a drag race, Eugenie Sage?
Partly because I think the media covered it as a two-way drag race when we've got MMP and more people voted for parties that want to change
You can't just
government.
blame the media, Eugenie.
Here we go.
You can't.
Lack of civics education in schools.
Why are you blaming the media as well, Kris?
Well, the election campaigns have become more presidential over time. It's something that happens because of MMP as well. And if you've got two leaders who suck up all the oxygen in the media, then that kind of tends to happen.
Is MMP working?
Oh, I believe it's working. Absolutely. Look at the representation of women, look at the representation of minority groups. Absolutely, it's working.
But it seems like when you look in history, some of those minor parties who used to be really large, like the ACT or United Future, they've kind of been smothered into 0.5ers or
they were blips.
Yeah. It's happened to us before. What's happened is that small parties have not yet perfected the art of surviving inside any sort of arrangement with a bigger party.
So how does New Zealand First do it?
Oh, well, we suffered in 1996 and we suffered in 2008, remember? So we're just smarter this time.
All right. Matt Doocey, do you think the threshold should be lowered from 5% to, say, 4% or 2.5%?
No, I think the threshold's about right. You're looking at about maybe 125, 150,000 to get over that 5%. The goal of MMP is not to get as many parties into Parliament as possible. The voter is always right, and it will give true representation to the percentage of the votes.
All right.
It's not the voters that don't understand MMP. It's parties like the Green Party who don't stay in the centre and stay to the left. They could be the kingmaker at the moment.
That's a good point, Eugenie.
I didn't hear what he said.
You could be the queen or kingmaker. If you just open yourselves out, if you just were more sort of open to a blue-greens coalition. Do you know they have a blue-greens group?
Yeah,
they might have. That's blue and green make brown. And that's algae, brown algae.
All right. Okay, hang on. A big cheer for keeping MMP at 5%.
Yay!
A big cheer for keeping, making MMP 4% or lower. Charlotte Ryan.
About 50-50.
Charlotte.
Some huge screams behind me because members of the top party, the Opportunities Party, you guys didn't make 5%, so you don't get into government, right?
We don't get into government, and that means for us, 50,000 people were not represented. For the Conservative Party, as much as I would never vote for them myself, 100,000 people were not represented. If we lowered the threshold or got rid of it altogether, we'd have Top in there, we'd have Marama Fox in there, we'd have a more diverse and representative system than we have now. And National is quite happy. They've just said to have 120,000 people completely forgotten in Parliament. That's disgusting.
So do you agree with MMP, but the threshold should just go down?
Yeah, absolutely.
3%?
3, 2, I mean, I don't see why we need a threshold.
If it was 3, you wouldn't have got in, right?
Well, specials, we'll see. We'll be in next time regardless, even if it stays at 5. But if we had no threshold, you'd still need like 0.8% to get in. That is quite significant. Those people should be represented.
So you will come back next time?
Absolutely. I want to start now. Bring on 2020. I'm ready.
She has got a lot of energy,
All right.
Wallace.
All right. Is it true though that if you lower the threshold, Eugenie, you'll get the crazies in Parliament like ACT? Well, no, actually, that's sorry. Not ACT, I mean the crazies.
Well,
the crazies.
Wallace, the Electoral Commission, after huge public consultation in 2012, recommended lowering the threshold to 4%. They also recommended doing away with the coattail provision, which allows people like ACT previously to bring in other MPs when they got less than the threshold.
What do you reckon? Lower it to... You know what? Actually, a lawyer called Graham Edgler, he does stuff on public address, he actually said, why have a threshold? You know, why have... Actually, why have it? Because you've got true democracy.
I think we need to have a threshold. I'm not sure.
At what?
I don't know. And I think we've had the Commission, as Eugenie said, look at it, and it was 4%.
It was 4%.
Maybe the coattail rule needs to be looked at. But I think we'll let the dust settle. And away from this issue, I enjoyed having Top on the campaign trail, and they got 2 point something %. And I think that's getting close to where I think, you know, they should think
Never
about
asked you,
representation.
Tracey, 4% threshold?
No.
What should it be for you?
5%, we've submitted on this. We submitted on it. We said 5%. Look, we've been out of Parliament in 2008 based off a 5% threshold. We're prepared to wear it.
Okay,
It's okay.
all right then, Tracey Martin. So what would your message be to the likes of the tops of the world or other parties?
They need to earn the right to be in Parliament like everybody else. Get over the 5% threshold.
And a response back, Charlotte, are you there? Yeah, I want.
What's the case?
Graham, hang on. Graham, you said in some sort of blog or whatever, you said that the threshold should be actually almost abolished, like not even a 2.5%, like nothing, which seemed an extremist position. Can you explain yourself?
It's the point that other people have been. Sorry, it's the point that other people have been making here tonight. Sometimes it's 100 and some thousand people voting for a particular party. If those 100,000 people went and voted for the National Party would get 4 or 5 more MPs. Why do they not get to be represented because they've chosen to vote a particular way? And certainly, you know, you don't want a bunch of people getting in with 10 votes, but yeah, if you had it at, you know, we've got 120
All right,
MPs.
then, just final question. What if that meant the Aotearoa Legalised Cannabis Party got into Parliament?
If the Aotearoa Legalised Cannabis Party can get 20,000 people to vote for them, they should be in Parliament, even if I don't agree with them.
All right, around the panel, do the MPs agree with Graham Edgeler?
Oh, I think it could be a very interesting question time if that party gets in.
Tracey?
Do we agree with Graham that the threshold should be dropped? No. We submitted on it.
Chris?
No.
I think there has to be a threshold. You've got to have a critical mass of enough people.
All right, Eugenie?
There does need to be a threshold, but 4%.
Okay, very, very good, Graham. Thank you very much.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.